What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back with more Danmachi. We're a little behind on the boss builds, the EX Boss missions, and because of that, we're going to have to play some catch-up. Now, if you guys didn't know, I've been building a new computer, I've been doing some construction in my basement to kind of like support some new things that I'm going to be bringing to the channel here really soon. But in the meantime, we need to catch up. So we're going to start today on Boss 1-3, and then we're going to work up to current, and hopefully maybe by Sunday we'll have completely caught up and we'll be totally current on all the boss builds. Not only that, at least I believe as of current, there is one team that can S-clear everything without a question. Per usual, just kind of like last time too. So we're going to talk about that as well and take that team basically as far as we can. I think that team's going to go all the way to the end, but we really got to see how these last couple of bosses work. But either way, let's go ahead and get into this Boss 1-3, and the one thing I wanted to kind of preface here as I'm getting into this. Now, in the last couple of videos, whenever I drop a video, people get all hung up on which units I'm using. And I want you to remember, I'm only using units that are low enough level to kind of represent what most people are going to be able to fundamentally and functionally produce. So in the case of like these teams, these are not the best teams. Not even by a remote margin are they the best teams. You really are going to want to kind of look at just kind of the realm of whatever you're doing and what units you have available. What I'm going to show you are the techniques you can use to take the few units that you might have that are probably, you know, not optimal, and then bring them in and use them in a team. So don't get hung up on the units I'm using. Listen closely to the techniques and the strategy, and that will get you to success on your teams. So that said, let's jump into it. As you guys know, slot number 1 is Haruhime, and with Finn. Literally everything Haruhime does, I'm not going to go into it, we talk about it all the time. And Finn for the 33% SAH charge, totally going to be worth. Now, I'm going to do one modification here, and this is a major modification for my team. I am going to go ahead and put Anya on the front because when Line leaves, now Line's here for the 33% SAH charge as well. Remember, she does that on the adventure side, Finn does that on the assist side. When Line leaves, she's going to bring in the Winter Haruhime. Now, Winter Haruhime is really only here for her 35% physical and magic defensive buff. You need some kind of defensive buff if you are going with this route, either the physical magic or the single and all targets. You need some kind of defensive mechanism on your team to prevent you from taking too much damage, because otherwise you are going to kind of croak. It's not going to be a lot of fun. That does mean we are doing far more defense building than we are offense, so do bear that in mind, okay? So I'm using Winter Haruhime, and we'll talk about that when we get to turn 2. As far as my actual DPS, I have the Thunder Anya, the Thunder Tiona, and the Thunder Chloe. Now, all these units are fairly recent units, and none of these are very high level. I have done 3-star Ascension on them, because really, if you're going to take these guys into battle, you need to have that 3-star Ascension. I don't care if they're level 60 like Anya's, you've got to have 3-star Ascension. Now, it is worth talking about assists, and I do want to say first and foremost that most of these assists are not being used to the fullest extent of their abilities. What I've done is I've grabbed the assists that I can fundamentally utilize for what I need, because most of the assists that I would normally use for these, I have max limit broken. So, case in point, when it comes to the Kid Hestia here that's attached to Line, she does 30% stun, magic resist, and dex down 10%. Now, I'm using her just for the dex debuff, because you already have magic resist on here. I don't believe stun's going to work on these guys at all. And I mean, there are other things I can do, but everybody else that I could throw on here, well, they're already max limit broken, and it's just not going to be very fair. So it's not the best build. I'd fundamentally, I'd much rather have somebody on here that probably does a, well, hold up. You know what? I think, does the Haruhime, maybe Yeah, 15% MP regen. So we're going to do that. So this is all our units are going to, all the foes are going to take a little bit more all in single target. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. They're going to take a little bit more all in single target damage, and we're going to get some MP regen. I just happened to realize that is actually pretty much an optimal situation. So this is a big debuff and an MP regen. Now the sad part is Chloe's not going to get the MP regen, but that's fine. I think these other two are going to be our main DPSs for a various assortment of reasons we'll get into in a moment. Okay, then, obviously I already talked about what Finn does. Turn 2, Haruhime is going to bring in this Lily. This Lily does guard rate down 20%. That's going to help us get a little bit here. And damage received, attack type single target plus 15%, and allies 20% MP regen. So I forgot I already had her on here. So, man, now I'm like rocking a hard place. She does single target, though, and Haruhime does all targets, so I think Haruhime is a better unit for this because we're gonna do some single target. You know, that's fine. You know what? We're gonna keep it. It's not optimal like I did say before, but it's gonna be a slightly better MP regen, and it is gonna buff single target damage, which we're gonna do a little bit of that. We're gonna do a healthy assortment of AOE and single target, as you'll see. So it's not an optimal build by a long shot, but you know, I'm trying to avoid using really maxed out assists. With the exception of, come on, Ray, who is a free-to-play. She is going to be in the event unit exchange if she is not already. I don't think she's been added yet. Actually, she's Thanksgiving. Brain, you are terrible. She is Valentine's Day, so she's actually probably already in the event unit exchange, but she's got really high HP. She's got, you guys already know where my brain went with that. Just, it is what it is. She's got a good magic stat, which she's tied to Anya, who is a magic unit. So she's going to be really good all the way around for that. And once again, like I said, she is completely free to play. So she's in the event unit exchange. You can acquire her. The other unit that's also in the event unit exchange is Apollo. Apollo does Earth and Fire plus 10%. We don't have Earth Fire units, but foes physical resist and magic resist down 10%. That's a good debuff. We're going to need that. That's going to be really, really, really nice. Plus, he's got a ton of health, and he's going to get given that to Chloe. So it's going to be really, really, really good. The other final assist that we're going to be using here is this Eyes. Now, Eyes does strength and critical rate plus 10%, thunder attack damage plus 15%. Now, the downside is I would really like to have Eyes. You know what? I can't justify doing it, sadly. So, because of that, Chloe is going to be kind of out quite a bit of damage. Chloe isn't going to be a damage unit. Our DPSs are going to be these two that are here because they're the ones getting all the buffs. It is unfortunate. I would love to put Haruhime on the backside and then have everybody get buffed, but with them all low level, I can't do it because they don't survive. So let's go ahead and get into battle here. So hopefully now you kind of understand the reason that I built my team this way. Yes, there are better assists to use, much better assists to use, but the reality is, if they're maxed out and broken, I don't want to throw them on the team, because I want to show you guys how you could build kind of these lower level teams and still beat this and still get your rewards. So here we go. Haruhime, we're going to go out with her big debuff. Now, the one thing to bear in mind here, Haruhime is squishy. I don't think level 60 she can survive, but I believe if she's +1, +2, she should be just fine. And if you don't have her yet, she's completely free to play. Get up to Bell level 40 and see if you can farm up a Prism Bond. Just 1, maybe 2 Prism Bonds would be more than enough. She's amazing. She deserves it. So she should always be your first priority getting into the game. I've talked about that quite a bit. So we're going to debuff with her. We're going to go ahead and start off our major buff stacks with both of our DPSs, and we're going to do the 33% SA gauge charge with the Line. That's turn 1. Turn 1's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. All right. Now, turn 2. Notice Winter Haruhime came in, and we're going to do skill 1 with her, and that's going to give her a really sizable, well, it's going to give everybody a physical and magic resistance buff 35%. That's going to be really nice because they're going to buff their strength on this turn, and we could take a lot of damage if we're not careful. I'm going to go ahead and get into a healing position with Haruhime, and that's going to help us out. I'm going to then obviously going to continue my buff stack with the other two, and we're going to move on with our day. All right. Boom. Look at that. Now, pay close attention to their health because I believe did they have buff? Maybe it's this turn they buff strength. Must be this turn they buff strength. We're about to be in a world of hurt. It's not going to feel great, but we're going to soldier on. So, Anya does need to buff every single turn. If you notice here, the +2 actions, low thunder magic attack. That means that literally every other turn I'm gonna have to buff hers. When it comes to Tiona, I can go one more turn, and obviously I can go one more turn with Chloe. So here we go. And now that Chloe's in here, we can start producing some damage. We're not gonna go crazy, but we'll produce a bit of damage. Now, optimally here, I'd like to build up to a triple SA. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that far. A double definitely would be a good place to start, though. All right, so the strength buffs are gone, but they still have endurance and dex buffed. That is what it is. I'm going to soldier on and continue doing Yosuga. Now, there is a definite argument here for doing Haruhime's SA, but I think with the 33% SA gauge charge out there, I think we're going to actually accrue this fast enough, so I'm not going to lose sleep over that situation. I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with her AoE. Her single target isn't worthwhile, just because it's kind of crap, but now I've got to rebuff Tiona, and with Chloe, I can go ahead and go into skill 2. So let's do this. Let's say, Haruhime, you need to heal Tiona. There you go. Good girl. Yeah. All right. Now, once again, I've got to go ahead and rebuff Anya. Like I said, every odd number turn is going to be a buff for Anya based on what you do in SA. And then we're going to go ahead and go back out here. And I'm going to start doing my single target attacks with these two. And I'm going to go ahead and target Finn. Really doesn't matter, but the sooner I can get rid of one unit, the better. Now, it is worth noting here, with all of our debuffs and everything in play, you notice magic resistance is now down 35%. That's very nice. That's basically is going to help our magic units get more damage. Physical is down 10%, and Tiona is a physical unit, so she's going to be aided specifically by that. And Thunder, even though Light is debuffed, that is just it's not really relevant to our situation here. Thunder is debuffed 55%, and that is super nice. So, we're basically going to soldier on straight down the line here. Now, let's see Gareth. I believe he's exactly the same. Oh, actually, Gareth's physical resistance is a little bit higher. So, but his magic resistance is a little bit lower. So, actually, Gareth would disappear pretty quickly. But, I mean, it's a 10% difference, and we do have a physical unit here. So, I'm going to just continue hammering down on Finn until I get the results I want. Okay? So, once again, we're going to go ahead and do our AoE attack with her. Reason I'm not doing single targets is because you'll notice there's no percentage boost there. So with her, AoEs are kind of going to kind of be her thing. Now, 3 turns for Spark Blade, so we've got quite a bit. We can go back on that. I believe I'm going to have to rebuff her. Let's see. Thunder Reflex is 2 turns. Yep. So this is everything buffed right here. So we're going to go ahead and just continue on here. Let's see, that is 2 turns. So next turn we're going to have to rebuff that. Okay? Let's go. Boom. Now we got a double SA here. Now I've got a decision to make. Do I do a double or do I go for a triple? Bearing in mind that it's not until the SA that we're going to produce any real honest to goodness damage. Not only that, but let's just see what they do. All right. So we know what Haruhime does. This is a magic resistance and endurance debuff, so we definitely need that. But it is an even turn, so I'm going to go ahead and just do her main attack there. Tiona does allies remove strength and magic debuffs, alter thunder physical attack. So I'm not altogether enthused by that. I think I can continue doing that. And she does a counter rate plus 60%. And that'll be really nice for Haruhime. Also does a huge critical rate. So we are going to do a triple SA basically with Chloe and Anya. Now Anya, honestly, the magic resistance down is going to be more important to Chloe than Chloe's counter or critical rate is going to be to Anya, so we're going to continue on anyway. In fact, this probably is ultra penetration, so it's not we might still get crits on it. Okay, so let's see here. This turn. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We didn't rebuff. Did we not rebuff? Alright, well, we got to rebuff it anyway. So her skill has got 2 turns left, and I bet Chloe's has got 1. Yep. So we're going to have to rebuff Chloe's skill 1. Lego. So we're going to work up to a triple SA. Now, I could go for a quad. But I kind of feel like it's a waste with Tiona. Tiona's the only physical unit. Magic is debuffed quite a bit, and Magic's going to get a bigger debuff. I kind of feel like a triple... I don't want to get greedy. I just feel like a triple is going to be kind of our sweet spot here. All right, I'm going to go back to a single target with her, and I do have to rebuff Tiona on this turn, so... let's go. And next turn now, we are going to do our triple SA. Now, you will already notice that this is going to be a long fight. This is going to be a sizable fight. But believe me, after everything goes out here in the next turn, this is going to start to like really, really, really wear them down. All right, so triple SA with these 3. Let's see. We have 1 turn. Let's see, 3 turns left on Sparkblade. So we'll go ahead and do our single target there. Let's go. As you already know, Haruhime's is just a big buff and a big heal. Anya. Once again, the damage isn't really anything to write home about. That was actually pretty respectable, I'm not going to lie. For a +1 unit, that was quite respectable damage. Boom. Combo is really nothing. Combos never really are. So, continuing on. Now we begin basically the process of taking apart of the seams. So Heart Chakra needs to be rebuffed. We are on an odd turn, so that's going to go. I am going to go ahead and do Yosugo here with Haruhime because I need to make sure that everything stays in play. You know what? I didn't check. I bet you some of those attacks... oh no, magic resistance down is replicated, so we're good. We're good. I didn't even check to make sure that was 1 turn, because sometimes those are 1 turn. You got to do your essay, your Haruhime essay earlier, but we're good. We're actually good there. All right, so we got to rebuff that. Let's see. This is 2 turns. Chloe's is now 2 turns as well. Feline Reflexes is 2 turns. So Chloe and Tiona now buff on the same turn. That's going to be super handy. All right. It is worth noting we did miss a buff with Anya. That's all right. 1 isn't gonna make or break battle, honestly. If it was multiples, I'd start to get a little sweaty, but that's really not anything to worry about. All right. So remember, I said I need to rebuff these 2, and with her, she's back out there. So let's do this. Now, the one thing I do want to make sure you know. Basically, from this point going forward, Haruhime is going to be in a state of buff, recharge, buff, recharge, buff, recharge. It is one of the primary drawbacks to her, but it's going to keep all of our debuffs in play. And as you notice, now they're taking damage. Now they're starting to fall apart. So we really just need to continue down that path. I'm going to save up for another double SA. Actually, realistically, I could probably just continue doing Chloe's. Let's do that. Let's do a Chloe essay next turn. Okay. I missed her her Heart Chakra rebuff again. That's a personal foible for certain. Single target, and I'm going to do an essay here. Let's see what the essay does. Not bad, not bad. $250,000 is not bad in this situation, especially for an AoE who's only +1. So you know what? I'm not mad about that. All right. And I'm going to predict turn 17. I think that's a fair assessment that we will end this on turn 17. All right. So she is now 3 turns. She is now 2 turns. Yep. Let's go. All right. Oh, what happened, Anya? What are you doing, girl? Well, the downside is now Anya is, because I guess she got, I wasn't paying attention to her health. Maybe Haruhi made an encounter or something. I don't know what happened there. Anya should not have died. That's a weird one. But it is what it is. Now, you can still beat this. This is still a very, very winnable scenario. The downside is we are going to be lacking a little bit of damage. So we just want to make sure that none of the debuffs fall off now, because if they do, life's going to suck a little bit. That is very, very, very unfortunate. All right. But we are going to soldier on. Boom, there you go. I'm going to be honest, I didn't think I had to worry about Anya. That's a little shocking. I'm not going to lie. All right, so 3 turns. We'll do single target. She's probably still got 2 turns. Yep. We'll do single target, and let's get rid of Finn. I feel like Finn is a very credible threat, and I feel like if the sooner we can get rid of him, the sooner that Gareth will fall. Now, I can go ahead and say, now that Anya's dead, this is not going to be a 2-turn finish. This is going to be a longer one now, unfortunately. But it is what it is, you know? Once again, we didn't come in here for the S clear. We didn't even come in here for the A clear. We came in here to get the rewards. And if you noticed, my test runs were all B-class runs as well, which is why I did that little modification of the team that you guys saw at the beginning of the video. Apparently that wasn't enough. Either that, or I have to go back and review the footage. I would be willing to bet that we got hit with an unlucky hit. I'm willing to bet that's the case. All right, Finn is just about dead. Excellent. All right, 1 turn left on Sparking Blade. For some reason, I did her essay. I should not have. Let's see, 2 turns left here, so we're going to do that. So we probably would have had Finn done by now had Tiona not done the essay. That was a slight oversight on my part as well. A couple little oversights, nothing really world-ending if I'm honest. You know, it's all just honest mistakes and unfortunate situations. Name of the game, I suppose. But we're fine. We're going to win this, and we are in this for the long haul. Now, Finn is dead. Basically, I can just kind of concentrate my firepower on Gareth. Well, I can now, especially. Because once I see that health bar down that low, my brain goes, okay, this dude is out. He just doesn't know it yet. Like, we are recharging. So, let's do it. This shouldn't take long, fingers crossed. I'm just going to keep hammering down with single target attacks. To be honest with you, I don't know that the essays are really going to do a huge... Well, actually, no, I take that back. Chloe's essay probably would still do a decent job on him. Let's do that then. There we go. 270. Nice. I'd like to see those numbers. And next turn, they're done. So this would have been a lot faster with Anya still on the team, and I do mean a lot faster. So, Razmel, you want in the comments, it is what it is, but 22 turns, we got our rewards. That's that, guys. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And like I said, don't worry about the units that I built this with. Worry about the techniques that I'm using. You want buffs, you want debuffs, you want to make sure it's balanced enough with those. If you're going magic and strength, you want to make sure you have the assists for each and that everybody gets boosted. It's okay to leave somebody unboosted like I did today, but do understand they're not going to be your DPS. And if you do so, well, don't use them as your DPS. But if you do put them on your team, just be really cautious. But for now, that's me the video. Like, comment, share. I'll be back with more Danmachi here really soon.